I know Delap, he looks
does look a player, doesn't he?
Good option up top, young striker from City.
Last home game, Everton, we saw this as an opposition that, okay, we're facing lower in the table, an opportunity to, you know, put some points on the board, build momentum. We didn't do that.
3 points, back on track in the league, very important, but this has to be the first of many. This has to be the first win of win after win after win leading up to Man City beginning of February, then we see where we're at.
Welcome back to AFTV. We're outside a very cold Emirates Stadium. Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way, who celebrates, and of course Happy New Year, but we all see them for the New Year, won't we? No, this is our last game for the New Year.
No, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, no, but we still do content before.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, here we are, Arsenal Ipswich. We're going to come clean immediately. We are filming this a little bit earlier than we normally would have preview, obviously, with kind of, you know, everything going on in the next couple of days or whatever. So we're going to be bringing a Predict 11 video. Look out for that, everyone. We're going to preview this Ipswich game. It's really going to be looking at what we did well against Palace, what we improved, what to expect from Ipswich, who, you know, when you look at their record in the league, doesn't look great. When you look at their actual results, you know, they've been in games and stuff. So we'll have a look to that. Laurie, how are you, mate? You well?
Yeah, I'm right, man. A bit cold, but hey,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Turkish yourself?
Yeah, can't complain.
We miss summer, don't we?
Yeah, man. You don't get much of it here, though, but yeah.
We get 2 months at best. Arsenal Ipswich. Last home game, Everton, we saw this as an opposition that, okay, we're facing lower in the table, an opportunity to, you know, put some points on the board, build momentum. We didn't do that. This time we've got to get the 3 points at the end. It's as simple as that. I can't really dress it up more than that.
Nor can I. I don't even know what I'm going to preview here, because it's just go win 3 points. Like, it's Ipswich. It's at the Emirates. We've messed up enough time this season. We can't mess up anymore, and surely this ain't one that any of us envision messing up in. You know, I think on Ipswich, they've been unlucky throughout the season. You are right, they've been in most of the games they've even lost or drawn. They've only won a couple. One of those obviously being Tottenham, and they've got a few players in there. You know, I'm not the most knowledgeable on Ipswich, but I know Delap, he looks
does look a player, doesn't he?
Good option up top, young striker from City, and Davies the fullback as well, Leif Davies.
Yeah, big fan of him. They got, of course, Amari Hutchinson, former Hale End graduate. He's sort of, I think, playing in the 10 position. I think again, you know, like you said,
he's had moments.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't he score the goal against United? I think it's a good slight deflection. But didn't he bury it in the top corner? Yeah. But you're right to mention Ipswich's results. I mean, apart from losing 4-0 against Newcastle today, Newcastle have hit form as we draw them in the cup, of course. But before that, a win at Wolves. I always think a win away at Wolves is always a good result on the board. It's always an awkward place. Molineux before that, a 2-1 defeat at home to Bournemouth, a 1-0 defeat at home to Palace, a 1-0 defeat away to Forest. So, you know, 1 goal swings in 3 games in a row there. They did draw with Man United, and that was after they won 2-1 at Tottenham. We know what Tottenham can do on their day against sides. Before that, draw with Ipswich, and a 4-3 defeat at Brentford as well. So they're in games. Yes, the results suggest having lost a lot, and I think they've drawn 6 games as well, to be fair, in their opening 16-17. But don't, you know, write anyone off at your peril in this league, Laurie.
That being said, though,
go on.
If we don't beat Ipswich, do we really deserve to be in the running for the Premier League? I would say probably not. It's a game that we have to win, we should win, and we will win.
Really? You sort of...
Yeah.
You're going.
I'm trying hard not to disrespect Ipswich. I never try to do that. But let's be honest, man. If we're at home, you know, we're coming off the back of some good results, we should beat them.
No, of course.
Ipswich just got smoked by Newcastle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
The big thing for me, Turkish, is consistency when it comes to this team, and that's why I say, like, yes, of course, with all the respect in the world, we should be beating Ipswich uncomfortably. But we've had these half seasons over last season, the season before, where the form has been a little bit indifferent. But, you know, on the other side of that season has been 50 points after 19 games. There's been an incredible run where a defeat to Villa was kind of the only result that kind of cost us the title. Even then, a draw against Man City was the only other time we didn't collect all 3 points. So my thing about Arsenal is, are we just in that patch a little bit? We just don't know what you're going to get from them. Palace was great, but Everton wasn't. I don't know, man.
Feels like that, but we can't keep having half seasons. That's been the problem. Maybe more optimistic this season, considering we're not up against a juggernaut that is City. But at this rate, the way Liverpool are moving, they are the juggernaut this season. And they've got the players that have been there, done that. quality, legendary, greats in the Premier. They got everything required to take it over the line. So as much as, there is more optimism there, considering it's not City, who we know guaranteed go on runs every single season, we've left ourselves short again, and it's going to require a half season. Now, the first 2 half seasons didn't do it for us. This one potentially could, because we're not up against that immaculate City that we've seen in the second half of the last couple of years. But this is just hoping that Liverpool don't pull one of those runs out the bag too, because they've done it as well, as much as we talk about
and they're
us
kind of on
doing it.
one.
Yeah, exactly. The whole season's been one for them so far. So
Their results are unbelievable.
Their half season's already in the back pocket. They just need to get maybe a third of the season out of the way, and they're gonna surely have 2 hands on that title the way it's looking at this moment in time. But look, last weekend against Palace, I said to myself, 3 points, back on track in the league, very important, but this has to be the first of many. This has to be the first win after win after win, leading up to Man City beginning of February. Then we see where we're at now. Do I think we're going to be able to pull that off? No. But that's what we have to do, and that's the position we're left in. So, I just expect another performance. I say another performance. I don't think the performance against Palace was the greatest, but I expect an improved performance and as many goals, hopefully. We should put them to the sword.
It's all about momentum, isn't it, Laurie? Because January is huge. I mean, I think there's a whole video and actually how big January is. 9 games, 5 of them at home in a row, which kind of sounds like a positive, but then you realise it's United in the Cup, it's Tottenham on a Wednesday night in the league, which no North London derby should be on a Wednesday night unless it's a cup, but there we go, let's not talk about that. You've got Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. I'm desperate to win that game too. You've got Villa coming here. They've obviously just beaten Man City. All that leads to February 2nd when we play Man City at home, and that will still always be a big game, whatever form they're in. So again, with all the respect in the world to Ipswich, it just feels like you've got to claim these 3 points and have at least back-to-back Premier League wins going into what's such a huge month.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And I kind of liken this Ipswich game to when we played Southampton. Kind of had similar conversations a few weeks back when we played Southampton. It was like Southampton, bottom of the table. We're playing them. We need the win. We're trying not to be disrespectful, but come on now, we should secure the win. And I do think that Ipswich will approach the game similar to Southampton in that they won't come and park the bus completely. I think they might consider this a bit of a free hit if you're Ipswich.
Well, Kieran McKenna's sides, from the little I know, they do look to play, don't they? They do have, he's a young manager with lots of kind of fresh modern footballing ideas. I know he was very linked to the Man United and Chelsea job before. Obviously, he stayed on at Ipswich. They went for Maresca, and Ten Hag was given a new deal. And that was back in the summer. And he's done a great job with Ipswich. So, there is a side there that at the same time, we'll probably try to take the game to Arsenal a bit.
Yeah, and I think that will suit us. That was a point I was going to make insofar as when Southampton came here, the manager was saying he's going to stick to his principles, and they tried to, play out from the back. They tried to counter us and do their thing, but ultimately we proved too good. And that's what I'm expecting from the Ipswich game. They will try and play, but ultimately it will be too good, and I fancy us to win and win comfortably. Okay,
we'll go through score predictions in just a second. Before we do, let's talk about the injury news, because of course Bukayo Saka, at the time of recording, a Times report said it's looking like it's going to be a case of weeks for him. But we don't know what that means. Are we talking 4 to 6 weeks? And that's a month, and that's missing January. Are we talking 2-3 weeks? In which case, you never know. Maybe it's a case of... I do feel like there might be an instruction from Arteta, which is, look, you feel anything, we're not risking it. There's too much football. And, sometimes you can feel a slight pull or something doesn't feel right. You come off. Problem is, he went off on crutches. So, again, at the time of recording, we know very little about the real extent of the Bukayo Saka injury. Of course, we will do an update here on AFT if we get any other news. When it comes to Raheem Sterling, wasn't on the bench against Palace. Turkish don't smile. But we also, it's a player that we're going to need potentially available. And then trying to think of others. Tomiyasu, Zinchenko weren't in the squad. Kaifu and Rice didn't make it back. Any others that I'm missing that we need to talk about from an injury front? Ben White, obviously, we know is out. That's a bit more long term. Don't expect him back till February, March. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's really anyone else.
I must say, though, with the Saka one, I was at the game on Saturday, and it did look like a bad one.
Yeah.
The way he came off.
It looked like a 2-monther, didn't it?
Yeah, he looked pretty
upset
upset
based on nothing
as well,
at all,
actually.
but that it just felt like, he looks...
He looked pretty upset, but pretty downbeat, as well he might do. It's a big blow, that.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I
is.
mean? We're going to struggle to replace him adequately. We'll see what the manager does. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
agreed.
look good.
All right, everyone, we're going to actually be predicting our 11s, what system Arteta will go with. He did something different in the last game against Palace. Will he stick with that again? So we're going to predict all that in the Predict 11 video, which comes out after this preview. Let's get predictions for the game.
3-0.
I went 4-0 for Arsenal. Stick with it.
It's not often I agree, Turkish, but I'm with him on this one. 3-0.
Okay, fine.
I
3-0.
don't like agreeing with Laurie, so I'm going to say 5-0.
Well, you haven't agreed since you both,
It doesn't make sense.
You know what? You might be right. It could be 5. But definitely.
Are you going to copy this score as well? I'll go back to 3, bro. Trust me, take what you want.
Last time I felt that confident.
How about this? At least 3.
At least 3.
I never like it when Arsenal fans are confident, but there we go, people. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to AFTV if you want updates on all the latest content. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below with score predictions and everything around this game as well. And of course, we'll be doing the watch along for it. There'll be a predicted 11 and plenty more content coming out on AFTV before the end of the year. Catch you very soon.